So yeah, yesterday I watched the game, Celtics versus Sixers, and we won, but really we lost. Hayward messed up his ankle, tore his ligaments. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. They said 4 weeks, but honestly, 4 weeks is crazy optimistic. And not even to mention the fact that his wife is going to be giving birth in about 4 weeks, and he'd already talked about leaving the bubble. So then you're going to talk about quarantine coming back. 4 weeks is the best scenario, probably more like 6 to 8, which means we'd have to make the NBA Finals without him to even consider the possibility. He's not coming back. It's a wrap on Hayward. And it's just so frustrating being a fan of Gordon Hayward. I said it's like being in a relationship with an angry drunk. You know, you have a couple of good days and you start to trick yourself into believing, oh, this time it's going to be different. You know, he's changed. And then he just comes home from the pub one night and steps on your neck again. And look, I don't have any hard feelings for him, but it's just the reality of the situation. The guy is always getting hurt. And it's a major bummer because the Celtics really had the potential to do something. And I don't think they're going to be able to do it without Hayward. Can we make the NBA Finals without Hayward? I don't think so, no. But will we beat the Raptors in round 2 without Hayward? No, I don't think so. But can we beat the Sixers without Hayward? Honestly, I hope so. I mean, they don't have Ben Simmons and we don't have Hayward. So, I mean, I think that's like fair play there. We should still be able to win. It's funny because I got into a bit of an argument with someone on Facebook, which is really rewarding, about the Celtics' depth. And to be fair, I did kind of mess up. Like I mentioned that the Celtics had really good depth, and I don't think depth or bench is the right word to use for it, because actually our bench is pretty awful. I guess the point I was trying to make was that I think the Celtics' top 6 is as good or better than any team in the league. But after number 6, there is a precipitous drop. And that's what we're going to find out now. Now we basically just got our top 5 and pretty much everybody that's going to be coming off the bench. Yikes. So can we beat the Sixers? I think so. I'm not confident about beating the Raptors in round 2 without Gordon, but we'll see. I don't want this whole podcast to be negative. So, you know, we don't want to just sit here and talk about Gordon's ankle and Kristaps Porzingis getting ejected for, I don't know, he must have slept with one of the referee's daughters. It's the only thing I can think that makes any sense. So we can talk about some positive things too. When you watch that first game, Celtics-Sixers, Jason Tatum is incredible. Kirk Goldsberry had this really cool article on ESPN, and one of the stats that he dug up was talking about how last year Tatum was the worst isolation player in basketball, statistically. The worst high-volume isolation player in basketball. And this year, he's 3rd best. And that is just such an incredible transformation. And one of the reasons why he's been so amazing. The other reason is he's such a good defensive player. He really is a two-way star. And I don't think people realize how rare that is to be able to score 30 points a night while also playing really high level defense. He's our best offensive player and he's our best defensive player. That is rarefied air. That is like top 5 NBA player kind of stuff. So yeah, Tatum is amazing. Brown also looked phenomenal in the first game. it's just so refreshing this year. I know I've touched on it a bunch of times, but last year was one of the worst years ever to be a Celtics fan. All this talent and everything was a disappointment. Calling last season a disappointment is like giving birth to Gollum and saying it's disappointing. Kyrie Irving is one of my least favorite human beings on the planet Earth. Tatum sort of regressed last year. You can see part of that from the isolation stats. Jaylen Brown was in his third year and really should have had that breakthrough and decided to put it on a one-year layaway instead. It was just an awful year, and this year it's been the total opposite. Kemba is a really lovable guy. Tatum has blossomed into a borderline superstar, and Brown is an all-star caliber player as well. So even if, we do get bounced in round 2 by Toronto, I don't think this season is a failure. The team is really set up pretty nicely for the future, I think. And it just feels good being a Celtics fan again. This was a weird first game for a lot of teams in the NBA. Obviously, there were a couple of upsets. The Bucks lost to Orlando. I had the Bucks sweeping Orlando, so honestly, I don't really care. I'll say it again: the Bucks are going to win it all. It's a win-win for me because if the Bucks win it all, I predicted it and I look smart. If the Bucks don't, well, probably gives more hope to my Celtics. The Lakers lost as well, which is great. They lost to Portland. I said Portland could take a couple of games, so I'm not shocked here. And of course, that officiating snafu with the Dallas game was crazy, just throwing Kristaps Porzingis out of the game for almost nothing. That really worries me because, Daniel Tice, I feel like he gets more bad calls than anybody else in the NBA. I swear the refs are still mad about World War II or something. So that does worry me for the future. But yeah, Lakers losing the first game was great. Almost cheered me up. The Bucks losing was pretty wild. And, just talking about the Lakers game again, look at this beautiful graphic. This comes from the Kirk Goldsberry article again. And it's basically just showing the incredible range that Damian Lillard has. But how beautiful is that? God, I find that aesthetically pleasing. So just wanted to say, nice work, Kirk. Nice. Very nice. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I still think the Celtics can beat the Sixers. It's not going to be easy. It wasn't even easy in game 1 with Gordon, but it pretty much went the way I thought it would. Embiid was really good at first and kind of wrecking us, and then he just kind of fades. This is sort of who he's been. So I still think the Celtics will get to round 2. I'm super worried about round 2. I love the fact that Damian Lillard is still crushing it and giving the Lakers some things to think about. I'm shocked that Orlando won. Not surprised that Miami won, but it was a really competitive game. There's just a lot of really good basketball going on. So I hope you guys are watching it. I hope you're enjoying it. And I'm just doing these quick reaction videos when I watch the games just because I love playoff basketball. So if you've got any thoughts or you want to chat about anything in the comments, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. And maybe I'll do another one after game 2. Later.